Now, what's going on with you today? Hope you're staying blessed out there. Welcome back to another double piece. You guys really seem to like these two stories in one video, and since I really want to keep this going, okay, all you really have to do to keep me going and keep me motivated is just drop a like on the video. It really helps. It promotes your boy in the algorithm so other people can find these videos, and all around it's just a win-win situation. Now that you've hovered your finger, okay, over that like button, let's actually go over this first story, which involves Blueface, baby. This is a story that's actually been going viral on social media. You might have seen something about it. Just in case you don't know what's going on, well, let me inform you. So this story involves Blueface, his girlfriend Jaden Alexis, and another woman who's at this time nameless. She decided to go to a Blueface show the other day, and something that I'm sure she wasn't really planning to happen ended up happening at this show. Long story short, and I'll tell you exactly what happened, but long story short, this woman ended up getting a treatment of the beats from Blueface girlfriend. And of course, I'm not talking about the headphones. I'm talking about some actual beats. So this clip right here that you're seeing on the screen ended up going viral. If you're not looking at the screen, don't worry, I will describe what's going on. So it was a clip of, Blueface. He was performing at this function, like at this venue. I believe it looks like a club. I don't know what it is, but he was performing at the spot, and at some point during the performance, someone decided to throw ice at Blueface's girlfriend. Now that's what's being alleged. I really have not seen a clip of this happening, but they're saying that this girl who got the beats, she threw ice at Blueface's girlfriend. That's the story. Next thing you know, as the music is playing, Blueface spots the girl in the crowd who allegedly threw the ice, and he essentially tells her, "Hey, come up here. Yeah, you right there. Yeah, you come up here. At one point, as he was looking at the girl and as he was directing her up to the stage, he said, "Don't be scared now, come on here, come up here." And then he looks back at his girlfriend like, "Hey, we're gonna handle this work right here," right? Essentially, he was getting his girlfriend ready to handle the business. She was essentially she was about to stand on business. Okay, that's what they call it, right? Now, unbeknownst to this woman right here, who looks to be white, that's kind of the narrative. They're calling her a white woman on social media. I don't really know what she is. She kind of looks white, but then again, she could pass as a Latina, so I don't really know. But anyway, unbeknownst to this young woman right here, she was about to receive a gift of the beats, and so Blueface directs her up to the stage, and then she looks at Blueface, she looks back at his girlfriend, she's trying to like speak to his girlfriend, right? And this is all happening in the midst of the music playing and people screaming and everybody's going crazy, so it's like chaos and it's just crazy, right? Now, next thing you know, the woman, she leans in to speak to Blueface's girlfriend, and Blueface uses this as a tactical advantage, and he decides to push this woman down the stage, and she ends up falling because he's literally like pushing her down. Mind you, Blueface is literally like athlete height. He's like 6'2", 6'3". He's like really, really big, right? So he uses all this force, all this muscle mass to push her down. She falls down. The idea was that he was trying to set her up so his girlfriend could then jump her, and that's exactly what happens. She jumps her and she gets the beats. First of all, I want to say this. I don't know exactly what this woman expected. Blueface directing you up to a stage is never a good idea because, first of all, we are talking about someone who does have a very, very rocky past when it comes to women and children as well. This is the same man who had strippers in his house, like literally around his kid. The conditions that child was living in, very concerning. I mean, first of all, we had strippers in a crib in front of your kid. He was also telling his kid, like, hey, we got booty cheeks out here. Like, this is a kid, bro. You're talking about booty cheeks to your child? Like, you're sick in the head. You should actually be in handcuffs right now. That's what I was thinking. I don't know about you, but that's what I was thinking. I mean, we gotta have this kind of energy for adults who are putting children through stuff like this, man. We have to. It's our job. And then he was like feeding him a bunch of artificial food, and it's like, God damn, bro. Like, you a millionaire, dog. What the hell? And let's not even talk about the empty ass pantry. I mean, yo, the empty pantry just took me out because I'm like, yo, you got all this dough for what? That aside though, and I'll say this too, going to a Blueface show period should be like a, no in my opinion. Going to a Blueface show, it's kind of like going like a circus, because what's really the difference? I mean, Blueface, a clown, I don't really see a difference. I mean, Blueface is the biggest clown in hip-hop. There's no good stories that come from this guy. There's nothing good that's ever came from this guy's name, like ever. Everything associated to Blueface has always been negative, 100%. I'm still baffled at the fact that a guy like this even has a career. I'm still surprised that people are even talking about this guy. And yes, I know I'm kind of enabling it by talking about it, but you know, this is what I do. So, and plus somebody got to have this energy for this clown, because all these platforms out here are reporting on this, but nobody's actually saying a damn thing. First of all, let's start off by saying Blueface is a clown, and this is completely unacceptable. Regardless of if this woman threw ice or not, this right here is not the move. And you know what the thing is, like, we've seen similar stories in the past. Like, as an example, y'all remember Cardi B, like a few months ago, someone in a crowd threw ice at her and Cardi B went ballistic. She literally full force threw the microphone at the person, like boom, like it made like a crazy sound. That shit hit harder than when the beat on Sippin' Tea in Your Hood dropped. So that was not a normal response at all. And there are a lot of people parading for Cardi B back then. Like, you go, girl, this was good. Assault is very good, right? And I'm like, really? This is where society is now? We think ice cubes and a couple pounds heavy projectile being thrown at another human being that could literally kill them that's okay? Like, that's an appropriate response? The Cardi B situation aside, I think this is actually worse, because Blueface deliberately pushed this woman into a situation where she got assaulted. So she got a case, and I think she should get that money. I think she should file that lawsuit. I think she could sue Blueface for everything he has, even if she threw the ice. I look at this story and I say this shit was not nice. So go and get that bag, girl. All jokes aside, I think this is just a sign that guys like Blueface, they don't belong in the culture. But it's literally taken for him to be involved in stories like this, where number one, he's either hurting women or he's hurting another human being, or like the situation where he had like a bunch of strippers around his kid and he was literally telling his kid, like, go get these booty cheeks, knowing or maybe not even knowing what kind of damage that would do to his kid. This is someone who has a very big platform who's just not sane in the head. That's what that is. It's just so sad that these are the people that get propelled to the top in rap culture. Like, these are the people that are at the forefront who are making a lot of the money. Guys like Blueface. Now, granted, he ain't gonna be making all this money in a while, because there's this thing called lawsuits, number one, that's probably going to take him out. And as a matter of fact, if you guys didn't know, Blueface is actually going broke in 2024. Now, you might be like, what are you talking about? Are you just saying that because you don't like him? No. Hear me out. So do you guys remember how back in October 2022, Blueface was involved in this shooting, right? It was an incident that happened outside a Las Vegas strip club back in 2022, where Blueface ended up shooting a man outside the venue. Now recently, they ended up telling Blueface what the repercussions to that is going to be. Well, the boy Blueface was actually, about a month ago, he was ordered to pay an astonishing $13 million in damages to the club's owner. $13 million. Not pocket watching, okay, but I can assure you Blueface is not worth $13 million, let alone does he have $13 million. Put two and two together, look at his career, look at the kind of artist Blueface is, and please tell me if he got these $13 million. No, he doesn't have them, right? So that means that he's probably gonna go broke a couple times before he's even able to pay this off. That's what I'm saying. And now we got this case right here where he literally had this woman assaulted by his girlfriend. This woman has a very strong case and she can get a couple million out of this too. Consequences, man. There's always consequences to your actions. You can't be out here shooting people. You can't be out here doing all these things thinking that it will not come back to you, because it will. And when it does, it's gonna hit you in the face harder than you could have ever imagined. Blueface seems like someone who just feels like he could just move in any type of way and not have that come back at him. And I know there's a lot of people in this world like Blueface, because I see it every day. And the thing is, it's one of those things that you won't really realize until it's too late. Once you put out a certain amount of energy that's negative, like, it's gonna hit you so hard you don't even know. And a lot of people get fooled because they think, well, nothing is happening to me yet. It's not happening to you yet. Now, if it doesn't happen to you yet, what's going to happen is that energy is going to hit you in other parts of your life. So if it doesn't hit you, it's going to hit the people that you love. That's usually how it works. There's a compound effect of the energy that you put out to the world. That's a fact. And whether it's positive or whether it's negative, well, that's all on you. You're the source. I just hate when I see people walking around this world thinking they're just untouchable. Like, no, you're not untouchable. You bleed just like me, and one day you gonna see, okay? One day, all those things that you put out, they gonna come right back to you like a boomerang. Life is already hard as it is, man. If you want to make it harder by screwing people over and you want to have all this malevolent energy towards other people and what they're doing, don't think that you're gonna get away from this scene. unseen, unscathed, it will come back to you. That's what I'm saying. Now that aside, moving on to the next story, which is involving Key Glock. Are you guys familiar with Key Glock? Key Glock is a 26-year-old rapper out of Memphis, Tennessee, who the other day he put up this tweet that kind of went a little viral in the hip-hop community. The tweet is regarding the state of hip-hop. I feel like everybody's giving their take on the state of hip-hop, like rappers, right? Recently we heard Lil Yachty say some things and I flamed him for it. And now we have Key Glock. Now Key Glock's opinion I think holds a lot of weight for a couple of reasons, but actually let's take a look at what he said. So Glock, right, he put up this tweet. He said, "Shit ain't even hip-hop rap no more, it's hip-hop." Now that's a very loaded statement, like them fries I had last night. Not a single cap in his statement though, because hip hop is actually pop. Pop just means pop culture, i.e. popular culture, and hip hop is definitely popular culture. One of the things we've seen in hip hop, especially like the last couple years, is the corporations have realized how much money actually is in hip hop. Now, even though things are shifting a little bit right now because they're not really prioritizing hip hop acts as much as they used to, the genre is still very lucrative. And one thing about hip hop is a lot of the artists have a pretty fast turnover rate. And so like in other genres, artists seem to last a little longer. In hip-hop, we do kind of struggle with the longevity aspect of things. A lot of these major labels, they know when they bank on rappers, a lot of times that money that they're putting up, they're most likely not gonna get a return on that investment from that artist after a certain amount of albums. But for them, that's not the game they're playing anyway. The game they are playing, however, is the ownership game, because they give them that advance and hey, they take an L, right? They take a loss, but they're going to be owning this artist's music and likeness for the rest of their life. And so that's how the corporations stay in business, because they own the majority of this music. That's also why a lot of artists who be talking about there's no money in music. There's no money in music because you don't even own your damn music. So obviously there's not going to be anything in it for you, but because they own your music and because they're going to be cashing in on your hard work for the rest of your life, there's a lot of money in this business for them and not for you. So one of the reasons why hip-hop has become popular culture is because there's been such an investment on the corporations and towards hip-hop. They obviously see the upside in investing into the culture and the genre. They obviously see a great benefit in investing into hip-hop acts. One of the reasons is because hip-hop acts usually take deals that are not favorable towards them, unfortunately. And so unfortunately, the artists, right, in the process of dropping all this music, they're actually getting pimped out. And who's controlling the narrative? Well, who owns the music? The corporations. Who's investing into all these studio sessions and who's investing into producing this music? The corporations. They're obviously going to propel the music to the top because obviously they have a vested interest in seeing the music succeed. But even if it doesn't succeed, we have an artist who years later might actually be out of that label deal, but they produce all this music which they don't own, and a small percentage of this music is something that the corporations can market even long after the artist is gone, by the way, and they see a return on that investment in that way. So this is one of the reasons why hip-hop has become so popular. There's been a lot of money, like we're talking upwards of probably like billions at this point in the last couple of years, that's been invested into the genre of hip-hop. And a lot of people don't talk about this because they don't really see this entire conversation with the kind of depth that we're seeing it with right now together. Our artists are getting pimped out, the music is getting pimped out, the culture is getting pimped out, the lifestyle is getting pimped out, everything is up for sale. And the buyers are the corporations who a lot of times, unfortunately, hypnotize these artists with the money, and they have them doing backflips, figuratively speaking, sometimes actually literally speaking. That's where them Hollywood parties come in. They have them doing these backflips on their accord. And in the process of all this, like just going back to what I said earlier, we don't own a goddamn thing. I mean, we don't even own our music now. That's why guys like Russ are so important to the culture, because he's literally showing us that you can make a lot of money from your catalog. And a guy like Russ, he's not really getting played on the radio like that. Now, some of his records are, but that's because he himself has invested into making that happen. And that's the thing, we could make hip-hop pop culture by ourselves and keep that authenticity in the music, but for that to happen, we actually got to put up our own dough. We got to put up our own money. Hip-hop has only been able to become pop culture because there's been so much money dumped into the genre. The issue with that is once we took the money, they started owning us. So now we're playing their game. That's why a lot of the music that surfaced into the top is so lifeless. It doesn't have no spirit. It doesn't have no soul. It doesn't have no heart. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think all this is by design. I think somebody wanted to make this happen, and I'm like, who's behind all this, man? Because let me tell you this, guys, in every single industry in this world, there are usually a couple people who are behind the changes that we see. Now, I actually do have a couple names right in front of me, but I ain't really trying to, I ain't trying to go out like that yet, okay? I still got some unfinished business, if you will, so bear with me, guys. Bear with me. We gonna get there one day. Anyway, there you have the video. Please drop a like if you made it this far. I would really appreciate it. It really helps. Thank you. I appreciate you. What do you guys think about both of these topics? Any thoughts? Curious to hear what you have to say. And like always, I'll catch you on the next one. Stay blessed. I'm out.